Okay, today I'm with Tiffany. Tiffany, I asked you if you wanted to share your story as far as if you're battling any type of addictions, because something that's very prevalent out here is the use of blues, fentanyl pills. You told me you're not using that, but you see it a lot, right? Why do you think?
All day, every day is the new epidemic. It's horrible, actually.
And why do you think that is? Why do you think so many young people especially are trying that?
Well, my personal opinion is that there was a period of time when a lot of people were getting arrested, locked up, and doing long bids of time. And their children grew up by themselves. They didn't have the proper teachers, I guess, to teach them right from wrong, or morals, respect, standards, stuff like that. So they kind of like learned them on their own. And blues are like epidemic, really. It's worse than crack. Way worse than crack.
How do you stay away from them?
I never had the desire to do anything like that. I have an addictive personality, so I try not to put myself in those types of situations where I'm gonna look like that, because I have a higher respect and standard for myself than to look like that. Because I look at them and it's like, the public, they judge regardless. They judge me every day. I stick out like sore thumb. But I am who I am, and I'd be proud to be me rather than to be that, That's...
And you said sometimes you have to hustle for money.
Of course. Every day's a hustle.
Do you do dates? What do you do?
I dabble when it's beneficial.
And how do you stay safe with that?
I guess in the way anybody would, really. I try to keep some type of protection on me.
Who are the men that approach you the most? I've heard like construction workers.
I'm actually very intimidating. A lot of people do not approach me like that unless they really about it like that. But you would think I would get more people hitting on me like that than not, but I guess that's the response I get, is I'm intimidating.
You've heard that before? You intimidate
many
guys
times.
From coming up to you?
Many times. Yeah.
So that's kind of bad for business, huh?
It is, but not really. Not when you're not in just that kind of business.
Right. And how long do you think you'll be out here as far as doing dates?
Months.
And what are your plans after a couple months?
I don't make plans, because the plans never go as planned. We just said that.
So you just kind of go with the flow?
Yes.
Any advice for...
I kind of have to.
Yeah, any advice for parents who...
Being involved with your children makes a big difference. Talk to your children. Be real with your children. Let them know they can be honest with you. Don't hide too much from them. Keep it real with them, because they're not dumb. And especially today, they see more than you realize. They experience more than you realize. But it makes a big difference when you're just open-minded and you talk to them.
Yeah, that's great advice, right? Keep the open lines of communication. Talk to them, because if you're not talking to them as a parent, the people out in the streets are going to talk to them, right? They're going to introduce them to blues.
This is just a pit full of snakes. And it's sad to say that that's the way the world is coming to, but it's the truth. There's not too many real or good, kind-hearted motherfuckers out there, people out there anymore.
What's the youngest that you've seen out here in the streets, either using blues or doing dates?
15, 14. It's sad.
Why do you think they start so young?
Because they don't want to feel. That stuff makes you numb to everything. They don't want to feel anything anymore.
They're trying
They
to
want
numb.
to escape their reality, and their reality is just too much for them to cope with, I guess. They weren't taught good coping skills from the get. They probably had to learn them on their own and probably don't even know what they are yet.
That's pretty sad because the youngest I've seen out here 13, I've seen 15-year-olds, 16, and that's our next generation.
It
you
is.
know?
It is.
And so if they're out here losing their life because a lot of folks are overdosing, not waking up.
I know so many people within these past couple years that have died on overdosing. It's really, really sad. It's really, really sad. So many people, so young too, so young.
And who do you think is responsible for that? The government, parents, school, society in general? Who do you think should help?
Who's responsible for it? I think we're all responsible for it.
We all
It takes
have
a village to raise a child. You know?
Right.
It takes a village.
Okay.
And when the village ain't right, future generations ain't gonna be right.
I get what you're saying. So, Tiffany, thank you very much for talking to me. I really appreciate you shedding some insight as to what you see out here. Please stay safe because it's dangerous, right? It's really dangerous.
It really is.
A lot of
It
crazy
really is.
people, right? A lot of people come up to you and they're not in their right
Not
mind.
only that, people get murdered around here every day. Every day.
Doesn't that scare you?
I try to keep a clear conscience, and I walk around here with my head up high, and I don't try to do no dusty nothing to nobody, so I don't really have that kind of fear, So if anything happens to me, it was meant to happen for a reason, even if I don't even understand it, But I'm not gonna change or be too scared to be me out here because of it. It's just you gotta take more precaution, You gotta be aware of your surroundings and don't trust anybody, really. There should be very few and far between in your circle. There's reasons for that.
So,
Too many wolves out here.
Yeah, too many snakes, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Too many snakes and wolves looking for easy prey.
That's right. And there's one lined up in every corner. Every corner. And they're all knotted out.
Right. So, again, thank you very much for sharing your story. I really appreciate you. If I see you out here, I'll say hi, get an update, see how these past 2 months, the 2 months going forward, see what you're up to, okay?
All right.
So thank you. Have a good night. Stay safe.
You too.